Hey everyone, welcome to 49 Sports Games and the pre-play of this year's Super Bowl, which, as I just learned, is actually Seattle at New England, although I don't have any home field advantage going on in this game. For some reason, I thought it was at a stadium that was an NFC team without really looking, so it shows you how much I pay attention to the real thing that's going on. But anyway, it's been fun playing the game. And as you know, the real purpose of playing today is to show you the new cards. So we got the game action cards. And then we also have the results cards. And you can see how they will play out throughout the game. I've actually played through 3 quarters now, 3 quarters of the way into the game, and it's been interesting. It's been a good game. No idea what the real game is going to be like, and this isn't to actually mimic the score of the real game. It's just to play out like a game could be played between these two teams. And so far, it kind of feels like that's it. Two really good defenses, and two offenses who have been opportunistic so far. So where I'm at right now in the first half of the game is get my cheat sheets here. So, I mean, it didn't start well for Seattle. They went 3-0. They kicked it to New England. New England moved down and um, got it into field goal range and took a field goal. And then Seattle came back and scored a touchdown. And then that was the first quarter. So it was 7-3 Seattle. In the second quarter, the game went back and forth again. Drake May actually threw an interception in two interceptions in the second quarter, including one near the end of the half. So New England was up at that time. They were up 13-10, and what was that? 13, yeah, 13-10. They were up, and so Seattle. We threw the interception. Seattle got the ball, and they actually scored in the last minute and 40 seconds to actually tie the game at halftime. And where we're at right now is we are the start of the fourth quarter. Actually, yeah, we're starting the fourth quarter, played through the third quarter, and the score right now is 17 to 16 in favor of um, New England. Sorry, the camera's on, so it makes it hard to think here. So yeah, so right now 17-16 for New England, and just some of the stats before I show you what's going on in the game situation. In the first half, Sam Darnold was 7-13 for 113 yards, where Drake May was 11-19 for 178 yards, including those two interceptions. Sam Darnold also threw an interception in the first half. Seattle seemed to be able to get the ball to midfield, couldn't get it much further. The one time they did, they only were in the red zone once when they scored the touchdown, but they had the interception. So the defenses have been playing pretty opportunistic. Seattle's been trying to run the football as you would expect they would, whereas New England has been more about passing the football, even though they do run the ball really well. So we'll see how things transpire here as we go to the overhead, and you can kind of see what the situation is on the field up here. So up on the very left-hand side of the screen, the you can see where things are at, and we have um, it's actually third down. I'm not going to move the marker for first, second, third, and fourth down. I was just going to remember it. But right now it is third down for New England. They are at the Seattle 29-yard line, and it is third down, and they got 2.5 yards to go. And so we're just ready for the fourth quarter. So we're just going to get started. We've got the solitaire charts here. I think what I'll do is let's kind of switch back and forth. This might get a little tighter view of what's going on. Uh, the conferences alternate. Oh, it's not necessarily who is what team the stadium's at. Okay, well, that's good to know. I'll probably forget that next year, but I'll try and remember. Okay, so we're ready to go. We're going to roll the dice on the solitaire chart. So the red die for New England is going to be the play, and the white die is going to be the player. So we roll it up here, and it's a 19. So they're going to throw long. Oh, third down and 2. So 19 is going to be a medium pass, and the medium pass is going to go to Stefan Diggs. And so there's no modifiers on the play. So it's third down and 2. 2.5. If it was 2, then there would be modifiers. The solitaire charts also guide you to see if there's going to be a modifier on it. And you know what? For some reason, we've got a logo there for 49 hockey that we don't need. There it goes. That was last week's feed. So anyway, the way I'm playing the game, I'm playing quick decks. I'm playing with the differences. You got the charts here, which are the differences between the run and run offense, pass offense versus run defense, pass defense. And so that's what those differences are. I've already calculated out what the pressure rating numbers are for whether it's a QB, a defense, and what the interception is. So it's very much a quick decks type of game. And that's kind of how I wanted to show you for today. And then as I get further into this, I'll show you um, how things work when we get to on the turf, which brings in the defensive play calling, and that gets rid of this chart. It's a separate chart, and then the option to add in special plays. All right, so here we go. So all that said, Stephon Diggs, he's a 75 is his completion percentage number. His yardage number is 62. It's third down, 2.5. Turn over a card, and then we see what there is. Well, it's a pass play. All it says is there's good coverage downfield. The receiver breaks off his route. If the pass is complete, the passing yard is -10. So there's no modifiers other than we just checked 75 and he didn't pull a good card. 75 is incomplete. So blank is incomplete. The C is complete. The P means there's a possible pass deflection. So the pass is incomplete. And that's going to bring up fourth down now and 2.5. And I don't know, analytics probably says you should go for it because they just always say you go for it. But I don't think so. I think you take the points, they're up 1. This will put them up 4. If Seattle scores a touchdown, they're only down 3, so they're within a field goal. So they're going to try the field goal. This is going to be a 46-yard field goal attempt. So I don't have a camera on these charts here. 46-yard field goal for Borogalis is a 1-12. And so we roll it up, and it's a 16, so he gets a second chance at it. And it needs to be a 1-4, or he's going to have missed it. And it's a 10, so he missed it. So maybe they should have gone for it. So a missed opportunity for New England, a 46-yard missed field goal. So Seattle's going to take over at their 36-yard line. And so we slide in. Seattle uses the run more is their solitaire chart. And you see what I do is I have these little cubes and I put the cube on the chart that they're using so I remember to use the correct chart. That was my little fix because every once in a while I'd find I would be using the wrong chart. All right, we're gonna swap out dice here. 1st and 10 Seattle. And that play was a 10-second play. So we'll show you back here. So I just ran 10 seconds off because the incompleted pass. Oh, and then there was a field goal, and this field goal, that's 5 seconds. And so I know a lot of guys like to use the number of plays, which is a great way to do it. And I'm hoping I'm going to come up with a field that has the number of plays on it as well. So for those of you who like to track number of plays, when it gets to the end of the game, and like I had at the end of the first half when Seattle took over the ball with, I think it was a minute and 20 or a minute and 25 seconds left, and they were able to march it all the, no, they had 40 seconds left. And I thought, oh, I should probably just take a knee, but thought, no, let's go for it. Let's try a couple plays and see, because they had a couple of timeouts left. And it was just fun seeing the time. So that's the benefit of having the time. And anyway, that's enough of that. We're going to go back to here and let's get this game rolling here. Okay, so Seattle is going to do an inside run, and 18 would normally be Zach Carbonet, but he's injured. So I just assigned a couple of the numbers to, so 18 to 20 now is Halani, and 1 to 17 is going to be for Kenneth Walker. So this is actually going to be, Halani's going to get the run. It's an inside run. His number's a 34. We turn over the game action card. If it's an inside or an outside run, there's a chance for a run stuff. New England's defensive run rating is a 7. So we're going to roll a D12. A 1 to 7 is going to be, they get the run stuff, but they don't. They rolled a 12. So there's no run stuff. So if it's within, you consult the run stuff chart. If not, continue as normal. If it would have just been an off tackle or a stretch run, it would have been a run number plus 10. You wouldn't even have checked for the run stuff. All right, so his number's a 34. Turn this over. A 34 is a 1-yard gain. So they didn't get a run stuff, but probably next best thing. So 1-yard run for George Halani, and that brings up 2nd down and 9. And Roll it up, 2nd and 9, and they're going to keep it on the ground. This is going to be Kenneth Walker this time. His number is a 46. -1 is a 45 because of the difference on Seattle's offensive run versus New England's defensive run. Potential fumble with the quarterback. Well, it's not a pass, so I don't have to worry about that. It's a running play, and he's running outside, and it's a -12, so not good. So defense was kind of ready for it. So that takes his number to a 34, and a 34 is a 3-yard gain for Walker. So he picks up 3 yards. So that's going to bring up 3rd down and 6. And 3rd and 6, see what they do. Sam Darnold probably pass. 3rd and 6. He is going to try an intermediate pass to Rashid Shaheed. No modifiers from the down and distance. So his number 71 +1 is a 72. Pass is down here. So pressure if it's long. He's not. Possible interception on an intermediate. So we've got to check interception. The rating is a 2. So 1 to 2, and this will be intercepted. They already got one of those today. And this one is not. So there's no interception. If the pass is complete, we're going to add 10 to the yardage number. So Rashid Shaheed's completion percentage is a 71. Pass is complete. 40 plus 10 is a 50, and a 5. So this is the passing yardage is long here is an 8.5-yard gain for Rashid Shaheed. So it's 8 yards is what we'll put it down for. A round up in the 1st and 3rd, and a round down in the 2nd and 4th. Just for stats purposes, I do like the half yards because I've just gotten used to it. So 1st down for Seattle. They trail 17-16, and it's good getting that first down. Sam Darnold, he's going to drop bass. He's going to look for Jackson Smith-Njigba long. And so pass play. So defense has got a chance to get pressure. And defense here is a 1 to 7. So 1 to 7, and they do get pressure. And a 2 is going to be a sack. So they get pressure and they actually get the sack. So roll a d12 for the how many yards. It's a 2-yard loss. And I like to see who gets the sack. So I'm going to roll. And the sack is going to be Elijah Ponder. So Ponder has the sack, and that is the 3rd sack of the day for New England. Seattle has 2 sacks, and both teams are getting pretty good pressure, as you would expect. 2 good teams coming up there. All right, and so that's going to bring up 2nd down. Maybe I should use the down marker here because I'm filming. That way I won't lose track of where I'm at because it could be easy to do. All right, 2nd down and 10 for Seattle. And 15 is going to be a medium pass. He's looking for Cooper Kupp. Kupp has no receptions today. There's no down and distance modifier, so he's a 68 and a 67. Pressure quarterback is a 1 to 5, and it's a 7, so they don't get pressure this time. So 67 is, whoops, throw 2 cards. Oh, too bad, 67, close but no cigar. That's an incomplete pass. So that's going to bring up 3rd down and 12 for Seattle. And they've actually had a lot of these 3rd down and longs. So 3rd and 12. And he's going to throw long, looking back to Cooper Kupp, or not to Kupp, to Njigba. So he's 59, but we do have down and distance modifications here. And 3rd and 12, it's -18 to completion and -12 on yardage. Pressure +3 and interception is +2. So let's see what we've got here. So first of all, we do have potential pressure if it's a medium or longer. And so the defense has a chance to get pressure. So defense is 7 +3 is a 10, a 1 to 10, and they'll get pressure. And they do. So 3 is pressure. And a 14 is going to be a -8. So mark off they got pressure. So now let's go through his numbers here. So he's 58, +1 is 59, -8 is 51, -18 is 33. So that gets us to 33. And you can see if the pass is complete, passing yardage is a +8. Well, let's see if it's complete because 33 is not very good chance, but this one is. Njigba makes a play. And so we're going to go to his yardage number, which is 100. Add 8 to it's 108. If the final yardage number is 60 plus, the receiver finds some space. It's a 100 plus, so it's a B, and the long pass rating is a B. So he gets a B result on the next card. Now, this is a good example of what I've moved from the results cards onto the game action card is all of this stuff here. This used to be a symbol on the results card, and you had to look up, whether he was an A, B, or C, and so it just took all of the symbols off of the results card. This is a B, and it's a 47-yard gain for Najigba, and that's the biggest play of the game for Seattle. And it came at an opportune time because they were 3rd and 12. And that's a huge first down for Seattle. And that puts them down to the 6.5-yard line. And that will, let's go back to this one here so you can see. So they're down to the 6.5-yard line. 1, 2, 3, 40 seconds off the clock. And 1st and goal. Huge play. New England's had a couple of those too. And it seems like both teams have been living and dying of the big play. All right, let me just get caught up here for a second on some of the conversation that's going on, because it looks like there's a fair amount. Yeah, the backing on the game action cards, thanks. It's kind of cool. Kind of happy with them. And remember, this is still work in progress. Everything's probably going to change. Are the new cards a standard size? Would I be able to sleeve them? These are bigger. I don't know that there is a card size. These are 3x4. The previous ones they were an actual playing card size, but I just went bigger to make it easier to read. And again, this isn't final. This is still kind of conceptual. But I think the card size is probably going to stay, and I really don't know if there is a 3x4 size or not for sleeving them. It does make a little bit bigger footprint, yeah. Um, 20 to 30 shuffles, yeah. You start getting creases and marks in them. I'll take a look and see, and if there's a size that's close to it, I might be able to adjust the card size. Although I'm really at the whim of what's available for cards out there, so I'm not sure how that is going to look. All right, well, let's get back to playing here, and it is 1st and goal for Seattle there at the 6.5-yard line. All right. Here we go. Yeah, I can offer extra decks, I guess, for those that shuffle. I mean, these cards are pretty robust. These are pretty thick. I've been trying to find a linen card, and I found one, but it was just too flimsy. So if I can find a good linen card, that will probably hold up a little bit better. But these are pretty thick. So, I mean, I've shuffled them a lot, but I think they also probably crease pretty easy if you oops on them. All right, 1st and goal, 6.5-yard line for the Seahawks. And they're going to run. It's going to be an inside run, and it's going to be Kenneth Walker. So he's 47, -1 is 46. And roll a d12 versus a defensive run rating. So their defensive run rating is a 7. So 1 to 7. They could use it here. They get it. Defense has read the run. Inside, -30. So he was 46, -30. So that takes him down to a 16. And so a 16 is a 1-yard loss. So good defense by New England. Pushes them back 2nd and goal now from the 7.5-yard line. And that's how this game seems to have gone. There's been big plays, and then the defense just buttons up here. Let's see if New England can do that again. 2nd and goal from the 6.5-yard line. And they're going to run the ball again. Same play. It's going to be Kenneth Walker. See if he can spring him this time. So it's the same number, 46. -10 is a 36. So defense is ready. Can he break a tackle? He can. 36 is a +2. So we're going to add 2 now to this next card. And it was a -0.5 yard +2. So it's only 1.5 yard gain for Walker. So defense does the job. So it's 3rd and goal now from the 6-yard line. Now let's see. It could be decision time on 4th down. What to do? 19 is going to be outside of the range, so we're going to just roll it again. 13. So 3rd and 6. 13 is going to be an intermediate pass looking for Walker out of the backfield. So he's 84. +1 is 85. If you're calling your own receivers, I'm not, so don't have to worry about that. And 85, the pass is complete. His passing number is a 34. And a 34 is a 5.5 yard gain. So he stopped at the half-yard line. Oh boy. So Kenneth Walker picks up, it's a pass, 5.5 yards. That goes down here. 5.5 yards. He stopped at the half-yard line. 1, 2, 3, 40 seconds off the clock. And it's 4th down and inches. What do you do if you're Seattle? Do you go for it? I mean, this is where analytics is probably, I mean, they're down 1 point. The field goal puts them up, but a touchdown and 2 points puts them up 7. What do you think? I think Seattle would go for it. Here's where I'd probably agree with analytics if this is what analytics is actually saying. So 4th and goal from the half-yard line. Seahawks are going to go for it. Now remember, there is a modifier when you get down to the goal line. So there is goal line, and so there's a 4th down modifier as well. So we're at the goal line. So the goal line supersedes the 4th down. So we're going to roll 4th down, and they are going to run. It might be off screen here, but it is going to be a run, inside run with Kenneth Walker. Not surprising. Go with your beast. So he's 46 is his number, but then we get minus 12 to it. So 36, so that makes it a 34. See what happens on the game action card. Oh, offensive run rating. So we're going to roll against the offensive run, which is a 1 to 6. There could be a good block here. So let's see what happens there. 1 to 6. It's a 12, so they don't get the good block. So it's a minus 5 because the defense is kind of in position. So he's 46. Minus 12 is 34. Minus 5 makes it a 29. And so let's see what happens on the 29. Uh-oh, a minus 2. The defense is there. And the next card is a 1, so it's a 1-yard loss. And wow, New England defense stops Kenneth Walker, and they will take over at their own 1.5-yard line. Oh my, one of those games. I'll take 10 seconds off the clock and switch things around. And now we'll go back to this screen here. And New England takes over. 1st and 10. Wow. At their own 1.5-yard line. So we'll get the right dice in here. How much time is left? So let's go back to here, and you can see up. I'm actually running the clock down here. So there's the clock right now. We got 10 minutes to go. So quite a bit of time. I know I got fired. Yeah. Well, I watched the Bears. No, Denver. It was Denver that kept going for it when it was obvious field goal situations to manage the game and manage the emotions of the team, which analytics doesn't take into consideration. It can't because, anyway, I digress. I thought Denver blew it. Not that I cared. It just would have been Denver versus New England. So we're back to New England. New England's going to start at their own 1.5-yard line. And, well, Drake May is going to throw a long pass on 1st down. See if he can catch Seattle napping. And looking for Hunter Henry. So his number is a 60. And let's see what happens on a pass play. Only if it's pass complete is +3. So there's a pretty good chance for Hunter Henry. Pass is complete. His number is a 96, +3 is a 99. So it didn't change anything, but it's a 21.5-yard gain for Hunter Henry. And that gets them out of jail. So 21 yards and a 1st down. So 1.5. So that puts them out to the 23-yard line. Wow. Big play. And that's just the way this game has gone for New England. They've just found ways to get some big chunks of yards at a time. And then the rest of the time, Seattle defense has really locked it down. And same going the other way. All right. 1st down. And they are going to try an intermediate pass and looking for Hunter Henry again. So it's 79 and a 40. It's possible penalty on the play, but both teams are rated 13. So this 14 plus doesn't matter. So we're just going to go here. 79, pass is complete. And a 40 is an 8-yard gain to Hunter Henry. So looking for his tight end on this drive. So it's going to make it 2nd down and 2. Move that up. 1, 2, 3, 4. And it'd be 2nd down and 2. And what was interesting is New England came out in the second half. So it was actually 13-10 for Seattle at halftime. And then New England came out in the first drive of the second half, and Stephon Diggs hadn't caught a pass in the first half, and he catches 3 balls in that first drive, 1 for 18 yards, 1 for 22 yards, and then a 4-yard touchdown strike. So it was kind of fun to see that. He's had 2 other chances in the game, and one was deflected away and one was incomplete. So anyway, just some of the fun stuff that goes on within a game. All right, second down and two. Second down and two is going to be an outside run, and this is going to be Dearnest Johnson, and his number is a 19. -1 is an 18. The ball carrier has a seam, +12, so he's a 30. So let's see if he gets those 2 yards on a 30. Well, he's got a +2. So +2 and 1.5 is a 3.5 yard run for Johnson. And that's a first down. So back-to-back first downs. Gets him up to the 34.5 yard line. And clock's ticking in a 1-point game. 8:05 to go. First and 10. Medium. And man, they've thrown the ball a lot today. And it's just the way the rolls go. I mean, normally I would think New England would run the ball more, but he's already thrown the ball 32 times today. And looking for Keyshawn Boot. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Boot, I think, maybe. There's no modifiers because it's just if it's a run. Passes a 70 is complete. And a 77 is a 15-yard completion. 15 yards, and New England's got something going here. So 15 yards puts them out to almost midfield, out to the 49.5 yard line. And a new set of downs. We're finding some room here. So I'm going to do a stretch run on first down to Trevion Henderson. His number is a 49, -1 is a 48. It's an odd play, but I don't have my odd play charts here. So we're going to just ignore an odd play, and we just go with a 4. That's a 4.5 yard run for Henderson. That's just his 7th carry of the game. That'll be second down and 5.5. Second down, 5.5. Inside run, and then it's going to be back to Henderson. So he's a 51. Possible false start. And so before the play even starts, we're going to roll. Their false start is a 1 to 10. And it's a 4, so it is a false start, so there's no play. And that is actually the first penalty of the second half. There's quite a few penalties in the first half. So that puts him back 5 yards, nothing off the time. And so now we're going to be second down and 10.5. And there's still no modifier. It has to be 11.5 or more. Okay, so second down, 10.5 is a medium pass. And he's looking for Douglas, Demario Douglas. He's a 67. Pressure if it's defense. And that's a 1 to 10. And they get pressure. They could use a sack here. And they don't get a sack. But they force Drake May out of the pocket. So he's going to run. So now we look at his quarterback scramble. A 1 to 12, he's a 67. And it is. So he's got a good number here. 67. There's no running modifiers. No run modifiers. And a 67 is a 5.5 yard run. So he gets some good yards. 5.5 yards. And so that's going to bring up third down and 5. We're down to 6:10 to go. 3rd and 5. Seahawks need a stop. New England needs to keep this drive going. 3rd and 5. And a 15 is a medium pass, and he's going to look for Stephon Diggs. No modifiers. 74 and 62. Pressure on it if it's quarterback, which is a 1 to 8. A 1 to 8, and it's a 10, so they don't get it. If complete, the passing yardage is +20. So this could be a big play for New England. The 75 is a P. So here's a big chance for Seattle. Their deflection rating is a 1 to 14. So 1 to 14, and it's a 16. They don't get the deflection. So the pass is complete. 62 plus 20 is an 82. That's going to be 18.5 yards to Stephon Diggs and a huge first down. Well, Seattle had one of those in their drive, and that was a big one for New England. So 18.5 yards. That puts them down to the 27-yard line. New set of downs. Keeps the clock running. 5.5 to play. Okay, and so Kevin says, Ultra Pro, do 3x4 card sleeves, and there are probably a few other. Okay, good. That's good news. Would you ever consider individual team modifiers? Well, you kind of, yes and no. I mean, I would, but then it gets to be too much to try and create everything, right? Individual team modifiers come in more into the on the turf version than the Quick Decks version. And now this, of course, is called 49 football, so I don't know how I'm going to differentiate between what I'm actually playing. But this here is with the down and distance markers and the modifiers from the differences between the offense and the defense. All right, yes, that was a huge play. And so first down, 5:30 to go for New England. And this quite defensive struggle. It's going to be an inside run. They're going to go back to Travion Henderson. Defender is looking for a run, roll D12. And so they're 1-8, and they do get it. And so this card says if it's within, the maximum run number can be is 29. So even though his number is a 51, the max it can be is 29. So this, again, this is another one of those cards that came from the results where you would back up 3 cells. So now the maximum number is 29. It could be less than that, but the 29 is a half-yard gain. So Henderson gets a half a yard. So it'll be second down, 9.5. And that gets us to the final 5 minutes of timing now. So timing is different. So I've got my timing chart here, which flips over to the final 5 minutes. All right, second down, 9.5. And they are going to run the ball again. They're going to do a stretch run. They're getting a little conservative here. Stevenson, he's a 43. A stretch run, there's no modifier. So the 4 is a 4.5-yard gain. So that's a nice run by Stevenson. So he gets 4.5 yards, and I'll make it third down and 4, third and 4. So the way the timing works here, for those who are wondering, so it was a 4.5-yard run. So it was 7.5 seconds off the clock. So move 7.5 seconds. And now that you add the time between plays, you have an option to spike it. You have an option to go to hurry up, but there's modifiers, and it shows you what the modifiers are right there. And it shows you if the previous play was up to 5 yards, you could hurry up and it would be 7.5 seconds. Or if it was 6 to 15 yards, it would be 10 seconds. And if you don't want to use any of that, which they don't at this point, then there's 15 to 40 seconds between plays. And if there's a sack or a fumble, you can see a sack adds 5 seconds, fumble adds 2.5 seconds. So there's a little bit of bookkeeping to do the last 5 minutes of the game, but it's really remarkably close to how games actually play out. Okay, third down and 4. Let's push this up to third down. Third and 4. Let's see what they're going to do. Do they play safe? They are going to play safe. This is going to be a stretch run, and they're going back to Dearness Johnson. His number is 18, -1 is 17. Third down and 4, there's no modifier. There's no modifier, but there's a potential review, so that might come into play. Let's see what happens on the run. A 1 is a 2-yard gain, so he only picked up 2 yards. And so that would mean that there's really no reason for a review. The review is only if it's within like half a yard. Okay, so 2 yards means the play was 5 seconds. Oh, wait a second. We didn't add up the time that would have gone for the between the play. The play ended after 7.5 seconds, so the previous play. And then you can go up to 40 seconds if they want to go super slow. If it's just normal, the game's on the line, teams usually run about average of 30 seconds. So I'm going to go 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. 30 seconds is what they, no, 10, 20, 30 would have been 4:15, sorry. Okay, so now we're going to do that again. So now this is 5 seconds comes off, and then they'll do 10, 20, 30 seconds as well. And they will go and they will try the field goal. This is where, I don't know, analytics is right. It's 4th and 2. They're up 1. Field goal puts them up 4. And I think that's, I think it's a pretty good decision to go for it here. All right, so field goal try. Borgalis gets to try and make up for his last miss from 46 yards. This one is from 37. He needs a 1 to 17. He rolled an 18. Oh man, are you kidding? He gets second chance. So second chance is a 1 to 6. Man, 1 to 6, and it's a 12. He misses it. Oh my. So that's back-to-back misses for New England. So they still lead by 1. Seattle will take over at the 27-yard line. And we take 2.5 seconds off the clock. And it kind of reminds me back to the Jim Kelly days. And Steve Christie, Canadian kicker, missed a field goal. I think it was a 47-yarder. I mean, Buffalo fans know better than me. I'm just trying to remember. But he missed a field goal that would have won the game for him. I don't think anybody gave him a chance of even getting into field goal range, but they did. He missed a field goal. And this is still a one point game. 3 minutes and 40 seconds to go. Wow. Okay, this is close. Can Seattle win it as opposed to New England losing it? Well, they got a chance right now. They take over. Now, before I start rolling here, I will show you there are options, solitaire charts, and one of them is this catch up and 2 minute drill. And then when you get to the final minute, you use this third down for the final minute. And this will all come clear like with the new, with the update. And somebody asked, like the quick decks game and the on the turf game that you have right now are good. And the solitaire charts is what you're using right now. I'm going to be updating them. And and I'll put those on the website. So you'll be able to download and have them for free. Same with the odd plays. There'll probably be some updates. So any of those bigger charts will be updated. And so you won't need to purchase the new game. The only real difference are going to be these two charts here and the rules that go around it, of course. So anyway, I don't think Seattle is going to go to this just yet. There's still quite a bit of time left. They could have two possessions potentially. So we'll see how it goes. They're going to just go normal right now. And they are run more. And I think they're just going to stick with that. So there we go, 1st and 10. And they are going to run. And this is going to be an inside run for Walker. And this will be his 20th carry of the game. I don't have his yards, actually. I probably should. He's been pretty good, but not great. He's broken 1 for 10 yards. That's been it. Just one long run so far today. All right, so his numbers are 46. Defender pushes through the line. Roll a D12 versus the defensive run rating, which is a 1 to 7. And it's a 9, so he doesn't make the stop. If he did, he pushed through, he would have stopped him for a 3-yard loss. If not within, the running back bounces outside, go to his outside running number, which is a 46, minus the 1 is a 45, plus 30. So there's a 75 for Kenneth Walker, and that is a 5-yard pickup for Walker. So they almost had him in the backfield, but he managed to bounce it outside and picks up 5 yards. That's 7.5 seconds. And now Seattle is probably going to go to that closer to 15 seconds between. They're in a hurry up mode here. If they get it down into field goal range, they'll probably switch around and go slow. But right now, it takes them to second down. Second down. Oh, Scott Norwood was the kicker. Yeah, right. Right. Yeah. I remember watching the game. We're at a curling bonspiel, and yeah, it was fun. They had a group of guys watching it, and there was a lot of Buffalo fans there, and they weren't very happy. Anyway, second down 5. 2nd and 5 is going to be an 8, so they're going to run it again, and this is outside, and this is going to be, they're going to actually try an end around here with Jackson Smith Najigma. So we have to roll again, and so 1 to 6, he's a 74, and it is, so he is a 74, so that's a pretty good run number. See if they can stop him. The defense looks ready for a run, and there's a potential penalty on the play. So we're going to flip the penalty marker over. And this was going to be an outside run, so it's minus 20. So that takes him back to a 54. 54 is a 5-yard run for Najigba. And the penalties, right now, I don't have the penalty chart done. And I might do cards still, I'm not sure. But this is the old game action cards. So you can actually see the difference in the size, which I wanted to show you. So I'm glad a penalty came up. You can see the difference in the size of the cards. So not a huge amount bigger, but I think just enough that with our older eyes, it kind of makes it easier, I hope. Okay, so it was an illegal formation on the offense, and it's a 5-yard penalty. So they will push him back 5 yards. They will accept that penalty. So they go back 5 yards. And that's the 8th penalty of the day on Seattle. And that play took 5 seconds. And so we flip the penalty marker over, and it is still second down. Second down now, though, and we're back to 10 yards to go. 2nd and 10. A 19 is long. He's looking for Cooper Kupp. He hasn't caught a ball yet today. He's a 57, and 57 pass. They got a potential for pressure. Quarterback is a 1 to 5, and they don't get the pressure. We're not calling our own receivers. He's a 56, and that pass is going to be incomplete. So he can't find Cooper Kupp, and now it's a big third down. 3rd and 10 for Seattle. Incomplete medium pass is 7.5 seconds. We roll 7.5 seconds off. So that takes us right to 3 minutes to go. 3rd and 10. We don't have to decide on if we don't make this what we're going to do, but it's 3rd and 10. They need a first down. 3rd and 10. We do have a down and distance modification. Medium pass, going to go to Najigba. Go to your best guy. 68 plus 1 is 69. 3rd down and 10 is -12. So that takes it to 57. And then if it's complete, there's a -8. So let's see what we've got here. So that is going to be a potential pressure on the quarterback. And the quarterback is a 1 to 5 and then +2 because of the 3rd down modifier. So +2 makes it a 1 to 7. And it's a 19, so they are not able to get pressure. If it's complete, the passing yardage +5. That might come in handy for Seattle, but we got to see if it's complete first. So the number was 68, plus 1 is 69, -12 is a 57, and the pass is complete. And he's 72 plus 5 is 77, so that's not going to change it, but it's 13 yards for Najigba, and that's a first down for Seattle, and a huge conversion. So they weren't converting those in the first half. They actually ended up punting 3 times in the first half, but this time they are able to get it. So now, what do you do time-wise? So it's a 13-yard. Look at the timing chart again here. So pass was 13 yards, so 7.5 seconds come off. And now you can run up to 40 seconds if they want. I think right now it's still, I think they're in 4-down territory now because we're just getting close. But we're going to go 30 seconds for Seattle. He's in a bit of a hurry, but not too much of a hurry. And they have a first down. The +5 is on the yardage number. So the Jigma's yardage number was a 72. So 72 plus 5 is a 77. Yeah, and that's really, you have to watch for that. If there is an addition to yards, which sometimes there is, it won't say passing yardage in front of it. And you know what? I noticed that on these ones that show the plus. Do I even have one here? Where is it? These ones here, where it's a +4 or +6, or it can be -4, -6. I need to put YDS there so you know that it's yards that you're going for, versus this one here was the passing number. All right, and so 1st and 10, is that where we got to? Yes. And we got 2 minutes and about 12 seconds to play for Seattle. They trail 17-16. 1st and 10, they're going to run. Yes, probably good choice. They're going to go with Kenneth Walker. 46. Defense is in position again. Can they get the stop? They're 1 to 7 and a 9, so they don't. If not, continue as normal. So the number is just a 47, and a 4 is a 2.5-yard gain for Kenneth Walker. So he picks up 2.5 yards. 2nd down, 7.5. Okay, 2.5-yard gain is 5 seconds. And then 15 seconds to get a play off. So they could actually get a play off without it causing any modifier. And I wonder if they should do that. Don't know. I think they're going to let it run down to 2 minutes because they have all 3 timeouts left. All right, so it's going to be 2nd down, 7.5. They take it to the 2-minute warning, and they'll just keep playing as normal here. They don't need to go to hurry up or do anything like that. So it's 2nd down and 7.5. They're going to be a stretch run. This is Kenneth Walker again. His number's a 44, -1 is a 43. And let's see what's going on with the defense. 43. Running play is a stretch run is -5. So that takes it to a 38. So it moves it down 1 cell, and it's only going to be a half-yard gain. So not good for Kenneth Walker. So he picks up a half-yard. So it's going to be 3rd and 7. And so they'll go 15 seconds. They'll go kind of quick here. Just more important to get. This is 4-down territory for Seattle. 3rd down, 7.5. 3rd and 7, pardon me. And they're going to go back inside run to Kenneth Walker. So I think they're hoping that New England's going to bite on a pass and they can break Walker. And his running number is a +5. So he's a 46 +5 is a 51. Roll a d12 versus the defensive run rating. They're 1 to 7. So it's in. So that's a -20. So he's going to be a 31 is the number. And a 31 is a 4-yard pickup. So Walker gets 4 yards. And that's going to bring up 4th down and 3. And I think this would be a good time for Seattle to call a timeout. Stop the clock right there. 1 minute and 32 seconds to go. And 4th and 3. This is it. Game's on the line. They are out of timeouts if they don't make this. I'm trying to preserve some clock here. 4th and 3. Here they go. What are they going to do? 4th down and 3. 11 is they're going to throw a medium pass to Jackson Smith-Njigba. And so now we do have modifiers. 4th down and 0 to 1.5 yards to go. So completion percentage is -5. And there's modifiers to pressure and interception. Let's see what happens here. So pressure all on the quarterback, but it's a -1. So it's a 1 to 4. Can they get pressure? 1 to 4 get some pressure. 6, they do not get pressure. So now it's just a matter of whether this is a 68 or not for the Jigma, and it's not. It's incomplete. They couldn't come up with it. So the pass to the Jigma is incomplete. And that stops the clock at 1 minute and 28 seconds, and it's a turnover on downs. I'm not sure that they should have run the ball so much, but all they're trying to do is run the clock down and get into field goal range. But that didn't work out. So New England takes over. They've got 2 timeouts. They'll get the football back likely. So let's play this out. Wow. Yeah, wow was right. And that's just the way the game's gone. And personally, I actually really enjoy defensive battles like this. I can feel Vrabel's defense really getting fired up and doing different things to try and throw Darnold off. But you watch the real game's going to come out and it'll probably end up like 34 to 31 or something like that, which would be fun as well. Okay, New England takes over, 1st and 10. They're definitely going to run the ball. And so I would think, and they're going to stay in bounds. And so there's a modifier to stay in bounds. So we're going to call their play for them. We're going to say they're going to do an off-tackle run. And the off-tackle run is going to be with Ramondre Stevenson. So he's a 42. It's -8 to almost stay in bounds. You do have to roll for it. It's 1 to 16, and you do stay in bounds if the card calls for an out of bounds. All right, so that makes it a 34. -1's a 33. He's off tackles a 36. Running number is not greater than an 80. And it's a 2.5-yard pickup for Stevenson. 2.5-yard pickup. And it's going to be 2nd down, 7.5. And timeout called by Seattle. Seattle's 2nd timeout off. And what you can see on this timing chart here is, again, the timing chart to me adds a little bit of time to the game. Doing plays works really well. But if the play goes out of bounds or timeout's called, you use the number that's in brackets rather than the other number. So that's why that was only 2.5 seconds off the clock. Okay, this time they'll do an inside run. And same thing, they're going to stay in bounds. And this time it's going to be Johnson. So his number is 11. Run stuff. Defense tries to stuff the run. Not surprising. A 7 they do. And so now you're going to roll a 1 to 12 again. A 9 on an inside run. That's a 2-yard loss to Johnson. I don't have the chart with me. That's just all by memory. So that's a 2-yard loss and a timeout right away. So it's another 2.5 seconds. And that's their last timeout for Seattle. And that brings up 3rd down. And I think New England is just going to run the ball again. Not going to take any chance with running a solitaire play. They're just going to run the ball. Yeah, they need a fumble for sure. Oops. And they just do that off-tackle run is going to be Stevenson. He's a 42. Going to stay in bounds. That makes it a 34. And -3 is a 31. And that's a 2-yard pickup for Stevenson. Seattle can't stop the clock. So it's a 2-yard pickup. 2-yard pickup is 5 seconds, and then they'll run all 40 seconds off. So they got 5 seconds and 10, 20, 30, all 40 seconds, and then they'll call a timeout. If they don't do that, they don't call a timeout, there's a chance it could be penalized. And so for a delay game. And by calling a timeout, you take all that out of play. Well, I mean, he could kick a 62-yard field goal because his longest during the year was 59. So he is within range of 62, but of course they're not going to do that. That would be kind of silly. So card fumble. Oh, fumble on the run. Oh yeah. All right. Well, good catch, Vinny. So the way the fumble on the run works, so obviously I'm not used to the new cards yet, seeing them all. And it's good actually playing through like this because I know some of the changes I want to make to the cards. So Stevenson's run was a 1-4. Oh, it was a previous run, wasn't it? That was Johnson, and his run was a 1-2. So I'd roll this, and if it's a 1-2, then there would be a fumble. And it's a 9, so it wasn't a fumble. So lucky for me, I messed up, but there was a chance for a fumble. Okay, so now they're going to punt. And so their punt is going to be they're going to do a pooch punt. What's called a pooch punt. And what that means is they're going to roll a D12, and the D12 is going to be on their on this part of the chart right here. You can see it says D12 safe roll. So that's where their punt's going to be. And then we're going to flip this card over, and it's an 8. So the punt is a 46-yard punt. Pooch punt is +1. So he actually kicked it 47 yards. So he kicked it into the end zone. So I guess he wanted to be safe. And so that kick goes into the end zone. And so it was a touchback. Seattle takes over at their 20-yard line. And the punt fair catch is 5 seconds. So we've got 32 seconds for Seattle to try and do something. And yeah, now we definitely go to this chart here. And this is the final minute chart, which is where they're going to be doing. So it's 1st and 10, and you can see there's a modifier, which kind of makes sense because the defense is going to be sitting back and they're going to be ready for this. But it doesn't mean that they're actually going to stop the play. It just means they have a better chance of stopping the play. So it's not an all or nothing. It's all done based on percentages. All right, so Seattle takes over 1st and 10 at their own 20. They need a Hail Mary. And so 18 is going to be long, so don't need Hail Mary just yet. Looking for Jackson Smith Najigma. Okay, so he's a 58. Minus 12 is a 46. And pressure all defense. So it'll be +2 and 7. So 1 to 9, they get pressure. And it is a 9, they get pressure. And an 18 means a quarterback runs. Okay, so here's some options again, and these types of options will be on reference cards because I'm completely redoing the reference cards to things that are part of the game now, because just because it says he has to run, he can still force the pass. The downside to forcing a pass from the QB run part, which is different than the force pass from the check down part, is if the result comes up as a P here, it's an automatic interception. It's not a deflection, it's an interception. Okay, so the number was 46. And they got pressure. And it's quarterback run. So the number stays 46, but if you want to force it, it's -30. So it's 16. So you know what? They've got no timeouts left. I think he's got to try it. It's at that time of the game. He's going to have to try it. So it's a 16 is his number, and it's just incomplete. So maybe he just threw it away, which I guess he needed to do at that point in time. And so the time it took on a long pass is 10 seconds. So it took 10 seconds off the clock. Oh, and yep, that's it. If it's a sack, then he would add 5 more seconds. Okay, so that's 2nd down now. And running definitely out of time with no timeouts left. They got to try and go out of bounds. So they're going to go out of bounds as well. So that's a -8 to the yardage number. And so he's going to throw a 19. So one more long pass before we try Hail Mary. So he's looking for Arroyo, the tight end. His number is a 50. +1 is a 51. -12 is a 39. And pressure by the defense. And a 17, they don't get pressure. And here, if the pass is complete and the final yardage number is 30 or more, he finds some space. So this could get interesting for Seattle. We need to see first if he completes pass. And I think we said the number was 38. We'll flip it over, and it's a P, which it wasn't. So the previous play, if he tried to throw it with a quarterback run and it came up a P, then that would be an automatic interception. But this one here is going to be deflection and a 1-9 for Seattle or for New England, and they deflect the pass. This is pretty big. And it's a 6, and he does. He gets a pass deflection from Arroyo. Because if he didn't get that, we'd go back to this card, and the card says that his final yardage number would have been an A plus, which is, could be 20 to 25 yard gain. So anyway, we take off some time and we go to third down, and they really are kind of out of options here, but they will try to get out of bounds again. So they'll do one more play. And this time they're going to try medium, see if they can get it closer to be able to do a Hail Mary and still get out of bounds. So this is Najigba again. So it's 69 minus 12 is 57. We're an interception all. So his interception is 1-4. It's not intercepted. And the pass is going to be completed because he has a star. So if they have a star or a plus, then that means they catch the pass. And see, Najigma is the only one for Seattle. Stephon Diggs is the only one for New England who would actually catch his pass. So Najigba actually catches the pass. His number is a 72, but he minus 8, so it's a 64. And the 6 is 9 yards. So he picks up 9 yards. That's really not going to help at all, but he's going to probably go out of bounds. So here's where you roll a 1-16, and he gets out of bounds, and it is. So he gets out of bounds in 9 yards. So it goes to 4th and 1, and they have 10 seconds, or final play of the game. So he'll try Hail Mary. So the way Hail Mary works is just a deep pass. So we'll see who it's going to go to. Najigba, of course. His numbers are 40, plus 1's a 41, minus 30 because it's a Hail Mary, so it takes it to 11, plus the down and distance modifiers. So there's always a chance. So he's at a 0. So let's see if there's pressure, because they might get a sack first. So let's see. They got defense. Let's roll for pressure, and it is a 1-13, and they do get pressure, and it is a 9. So a 9 is just a modifier, minus modifier. Well, it doesn't matter because he's already there. So only if there's something in the 0 cell, and there's a P. So we could have a completion here. So they need a 1-9 for New England. This could be a deflected pass, and it's not. So the pass is completed. So Najigma catches the pass. His number's 118. And then the yardage number, I don't have my cheat sheet here, but I believe it was plus 20. So that would make it 38 plus what's on the B. So 38 plus 46. That's 84. That would be a touchdown. That's crazy. The games work out like this all the time? No, never. Never, never. Wow. He hit the Hail Mary. So, yeah, the Jigma catches the Hail Mary. And for some reason, I guess the New England defenders all went for the interception or the pass knockdown. The Jigma catches it, and he goes in for a touchdown on the final play of the game on a Hail Mary from their own 30-yard line. What are the odds of that? 71 yards. 71-yard completion. Wow. Well, they don't need to kick the extra point, although they will, because it was done in regulation time, and the extra point attempt is good. And so, wow, that's memorable. But it's just a game, though, too. So, wow. Yeah, it'd be definitely on all the late night shows. Well, the Jigba, I mean, he had a pretty amazing year, fun to watch. And, well, that was a fun game to play. Defenses played it out really well. Um, very interesting end of the game. But I mean, again, the whole idea was to show you how the game works. And, that took an hour to play a quarter. it doesn't normally take that long, but when I'm explaining and flipping cards and going back and forth, of course, that changes it all. Uh, wow. Yeah, you don't have many games like that at all, like ever. I mean, I don't remember the last time. I don't think I've ever had a Hail Mary that went for a touchdown. Yeah, the two missed field goals is definitely kind of came back and killed them. Wow. So anyway, yeah, send me your thoughts on what you think of the different cards. I know a couple of you commented you kind of like them. Work in progress. I'm still thinking it's going to be June before I actually have everything nailed down and to a point where I really like it. Um, and I'm glad that there's sleeves for 3x4 cards. I didn't know that because a lot of times I like to sleeve my cards too. And so that'll make it good. Um, so next week we have a special guest, and I'm going to start on the Facebook page anyway. I'll start putting some hints out as to who this person could be. They are a longtime board gamer. They are not a developer. They are associated with professional sports in a way, and the sports that I have games on. So that's um, that's the hint for today. And keep dropping them as it goes on. But yeah, next week will be real fun because it's just going to be talking about sports and nostalgia and new stuff and games, of course. And so anyway, that's about it for today. I appreciate everybody that came by to watch a game, or if you're watching this after, you get a chance to see how the new cards work. That was the whole idea behind it. So once again, thanks for watching. We'll see you next week with our special guest on 49 Sports Games.